Hello guys, it's story time. Hi, my name is Connie, Kenneth, and welcome so much to my YouTube channel. Welcome so much. So once again, as usual, I'm in my car, and I just thought about an interesting story time, and so I am going to tell you how I found myself in France. Okay, so that will be today's story time, and guys, bear with me. I have 2 layers of jackets. So where I'm from, where I live, is actually very cold. You need to wear like 3 layers of clothes, and I understand when my mom says she can never come to visit me in winter. It makes sense because you have to wear, I have a blouse, and then I have another hot jacket, and then I have the jacket, so it's like a 3-layer thing. So today it's a story time. So I'm going to give you guys a backstory of how I got to come to France, and how it all started. Okay, so I have there was a person who was driving slowly just in front of me. So let's get into this. So if you don't know, I'm Kenyan. My names are I don't know if I should tell you my name. I'm Connie. But my birth names are Consolata, Waboi, Nganga. So those are my real names. And so I went to school. So primary school, I went to Kenyatta University Primary School, and I also went to Kenyatta University Nursery School, then primary school, and then when it came to high school, I changed. So I was my bled, well, not my, we don't say that, my shags is Githurai. So Githurai 45. So if you know, you know. Okay, if you know, you know. And that's why I got to go to Kenyatta University Primary School. Back in the days, that was the only school that was around the perimeter, and the best school, and I guess up to date it's still one of the best schools. And then and it's a very unique place now that I think about it. You have the nursery school, you have the primary school, and then you have university as well in KU, in a very modern place. Honestly, when I think about it, I'm like, whoa, we used to go to a very nice place. And then after that, so I went to high school. And so when I went to high school, I went to Camboy Girls. So I wasn't like an excellent student, I was an average student. I remember I obtained a C+, so an average student. And so I went to Camboy Girls High School. So that was another ride for 4 years. I have some great memories in Camboy Girls, and so it was a very nice place. And then after high school, so I completed high school in 99. And so in 99 I finished my my high school. But during my 2nd year and my 3rd year in high school, I started like getting interested in French. I really loved French. How can I say, the French language, the French culture. And I remember sorry, back in the days it was like, whoa, French is a romantic language and stuff like that. So in the beginning I thought it was just like just a thing. And I remember asking my parents if I could go for French lessons, because we didn't have like any French or any language studies, apart from the usual ones, you know, like Swahili, like English. So other than that, we didn't have any other options. French, German in high school, none of that. And so I started like bugging, and when I say bugging, it really means like I started bugging my parents, like, please let me start my French classes. And I know, especially my dad really wanted me to do some German courses. Why? I have no idea, and I think I need to ask him, you know. I really need to ask my dad why he was really into me just, you know, just doing German lessons. And then so I started doing some research, and then back in the days I was doing, so after high school, I don't know how it is now, but people would just first go for computer studies just to learn Word, PowerPoint, Excel, stuff like that. And then not very far from where I was doing my computer, we had Alliance Française. And so I went there, and there were so many young people fresh out of school. And I was like, hey, it's even a very cool place to be, you know. So I went back home, and I went with all the information, you know, the rates and everything, how much it was going to cost them. And so I convinced my parents to pay for my French classes. So that was in Form 2 and Form 3. And so Form 2 and Form 3 I did during every holiday. I would go for my French lessons. And then in Form 4 I stopped because, you know, that's when you have to, back in the days of the KCSE, I hear today everything has changed. It's no longer called that. You know, it's the grade system. My goodness, I'm completely lost. And so and so fourth year I didn't. So I did French Form 2, Form 3. And then after high school, I'm sorry, I jumped a step there. So I really loved French. I remember I used to, my goodness, my books in the matatus and everything. I fell in love with the French language. And then what happened was, after high school, I told my parents that I still wanted to continue with my, you know, with my French lessons. And so they were kind enough to help me do so. So I went for my computers, and then I continued with with the French and everything. And so I got to meet people who today are doing great in the in the entertainment industry, like Churchill, like Larry Asego. Back in the days, we had what was his name, Red Sun, all those guys, like, oh my goodness, all of them. We were in Alliance Française together. And so I was so into French that I joined the French club. So that's where we had like a drama club. So we started acting. I remember my very first acting, I would say, play was The Lion King. So there was this French lady who was around, and so she she staged the whole play, and there were some words which were very difficult to pronounce. And it was, now that I think about it, oh my goodness, it's so funny. And then so that's how it all started. And then I remember I went on with French like for more than a year or so. And then I even started teaching French. I remember my mom's friend had a kindergarten, so I would go there. It was like my side hustle. So I would go there and teach French to kids and stuff. So it was really fun. And then at some point I started paying for my own French lessons at Alliance Française. So with my acting, after that I remember I even joined Heartstrings Ensemble with Kinawaudo, so it was a great experience, really was. And then I remember one day, so I basically used to spend most of my time at Alliance Française. Like, I finished my computer studies, and then I would spend like most of my time in Alliance Française. My friends were in Alliance Française. The ambiance in Alliance Française is crazy when it comes to expositions, to musicians, to upcoming artists. I mean, it was just like the place to be, and it felt so much at home. So I used to spend a lot of time there. And then one day I remember coming meeting a girl that we had a common friend. And so she told me that she's coming to France. I was like, I mean, how did you go about it? Tell me everything about it. So her name is Eunice, and so thank you so much, Eunice, for being part of my journey, because you really are a part of my journey. That's how it all started. And so and she was leaving for France the next day or 2 days after that. So she explained about this Aupair program. So an Aupair program is where you go to, so let's say in my case, you go to France, and then the families are looking for an English speaking person who will speak English to their kids, and then as how do you say, and then so the English speaking person, you live with them, then you learn French. So in my case, so if you go to Germany, you learn German. If you go to, I don't know, Italy, you learn Italian, but you're speaking English, your native language, to the kids. So that's how it all starts. So she explained to me everything. She gave me the name of the agency she was going through, that she went through, and she just gave me so much information that I started doing my research. I started applying, and then in between, another friend of mine contacted me. Back in the days, it was a messenger. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. So a very good friend of mine called Patricia. I don't know why my phone is falling. Okay, there. So a very good friend of mine called Patricia called me, and then she was like, so we're just talking. She's like, oh, I'm in France. I'm like, what are you saying? She's like, yeah, I'm in France. And then she was like, I asked her, how did you go about it? She explained the same thing Eunice had told me, but she had used a different agency, right? And then after that, when I told her, guess what, I started applying. So we started talking more. She really, really encouraged me not to give up, because sometimes I remember getting answers from families, and then the feeling didn't go through, or they were not very sure if that's what they wanted to do. They are bringing a stranger into their house, someone from a whole different continent, a whole different culture, into their home and everything. So, and then I remember one day I received, so I applied to, so the agency actually is like the broker. So they send you proposals, offers, and then they put you in touch with the families. Then you start communicating with the family. And then finally, I remember one day there was this family, we really got along quite well. So we were talking by phone and, by emails back in the days. And then I don't know why, for some reason they decided to not to accept my offer, or not to hire me, I would say. And I remember I was so sad. I was very, very sad. Honestly, I was very sad. And then a week later, I received another offer from another family, and this time, oh my goodness, it was I would say love at first sight with that family. It was on a whole different, sorry. So it was on a whole different level, right? So so what happened is, so we started communicating. We started just having some nice vibes together and stuff like that. And then finally we signed the contract. The kids looked amazing, and then that's how I got to come to France, in the first place as an au pair. So you're hosted, you eat with them, you look after the kids. Of course, you speak to them only in English. And mind you, back in the days, as much as I had learned French, I wasn't so good, when it comes to speaking French. I wouldn't say that I was good. I wasn't at all. So so it was but I always feel like kids, if you want to learn a language, the best way is to do it with kids. because they use very simple words, and you know, they're very patient with you and stuff like that. So that was my very first family. I stayed with them for a whole year. It was a great experience. You know, we're still in touch, and so it's been a minute now. It's been like probably over a year we haven't talked, but yeah, but we are still in good touch. And so the thing is, it was in a very small village where I was. And so I wanted to go to campus, I wanted to go to university, now that I knew a little bit more about the country. And mind you, when you travel to a different country, especially, let me just talk about France, just know your credentials are not valid here. You come with your diploma, it's not valid. So you have to start from zero. You need to start from scratch. And I will make another video explaining things you need to think about before coming to France. So I will talk about France because that's what I know. So I will make another video where I will explain, you know, things to think about before coming to France. So, you know, when you arrive and they tell you you can't, your computer diploma is nothing here, your tourism diploma is nothing here, so woo, it's a big shock because you have to start from zero. So that's when, after a year in that first family, I talked to the family, I told them what I was aspiring to do. And so it was a 1-year contract, so my contract was up to the end. They proposed that I stay 1 year longer, but I wanted to explore, you know, other places and go to a bigger city and see, you know, what life has to offer. And so that's exactly what they did. They really supported me, and so the same agency I came with is the same agency which found me another family in Paris. So I went to Paris, we met, it was fantastic. That family up to date is, I have goosebumps as I talk. Those kids are my children. They come to visit me, we're in touch, we love each other so much. Those are my babies, like the parents are my parents. The lady passed away and oh my goodness, I miss her so much. She was like a second mom. So anyway, so yeah, and so with that family I stayed with them for was it 6 years? 6 years. So I was like their child. I was their child, you know. It's just something small, like when you're a student, you're broke, and every time they would go shopping, they would ask me, what you want? Like, they would do shopping for me. So my money, the money I get from the family was just, you know, just to pay my university, to pay for transport, to pay for bills just here and there. And so yeah, so if you want details about how much you make in France as an au pair, I will also make another video. I think things have changed since, but it must be around the same price. And yeah, so that is the story of how I got to France, a girl from Githurai 45 all the way to France. And it hasn't been an easy journey, but I'm so grateful for each and every step that I've managed to, you know, to conquer. And we're still here, we are alive, we're kicking, we're pushing. And yeah, so now that you know a little bit about myself, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you would like some precisions. What do you say? Precisions. Oh, if you like more information, okay. If you like more information about something in particular, and I will be so happy to make a video and answer your question. Yeah, but in whatever that you want to do, as long as you set your mind to it, everything, the universe will hear your call and God will help you through it. And I'm telling you, nothing is impossible as long as you really, 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 really want to do that one thing, you know. And so that's why I always tell you, and this will be our motto for the whole year, is always do things that set your heart on fire. So until next time, It's your girl Connie, and bye bye.